It's the best day of the baseball year. Welcome to opening day 2026 versus the Walla Walla Sweets at the Orchard. I'm Harmon Johnson, your voice of the Yakima Valley Pippins for the second year, and we're getting ready for a full season of fun and a lot of action here at Yakima County Stadium. 3 new coaches have joined the squad as the new ownership takes over the Yakima Valley Pippins, and something else you'll notice on our broadcasts, out in right field, it's a short porch. Lots of changes have come to the Orchard, lots of things have changed within the organization, and we'll break down all of those throughout this season, especially this opening week as we get into our first 3 home broadcasts. I'll be with you on the home and on the road throughout this season, and I hope you'll join us for every single one of them as the Pippins try to get back to the postseason for the first time since 2022. Coming up next, we'll have an interview with Pippins head coach Kyle Crustangel as he returns for his 5th season with the squad. Get ready for this one, Sweets and Pippins, opening day 2026, right here. I'm here with Pippins head coach Kyle Crustangel as we get set for opening night here at the Orchard. Coach, you're back for your 5th season. You took a year off last year. What's it like coming back to this organization, especially with new ownership?
Yeah, it's super exciting. This community has always been great to me. As I moved in here to be the YVC coach, take over the Pippins, it's been arms open. There's a really strong baseball culture here. With the new ownership group, they're all about capturing, having fun, good food, good environment, good baseball. So I'm excited to bring the baseball side of things to the equation. But I'm just excited to be back at it and see our typical fans, but also just reach out to a whole new group of fans. I encourage, if you haven't been to a game or you have in the past, completely different this year. It's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be good baseball, good food, good experience. We want to capture you for the rest of the season.
You've got a couple coaches here with you that have some varying levels of experience. You've got a new hitting coach and a new pitching coach, one of which that played for you. Talk about your staff.
Yeah, I'm excited for Salsa. Ethan Salsheimer goes by Salsa. Played 4 years for me. Obviously, if you have been around the Pippins in the last 5 years, he's definitely a fan-friendly name. But a guy that's really good at X's and O's, a guy that's really good on body, movements. I'm really excited to see him. I think he's going to blossom. I think this is a great ladder step for him to be a very successful coach the next 40 years. Coach Panch, been a head college coach. It's really nice for me because I've been a head college coach to have 2 guys that understand the big picture, but also a guy that's known nationwide to be a good hitting coach. He works with hitters of all levels. He's been there, done that. I think he will bring a lot to our staff and to our players to bring a great offensive approach.
Opening night is officially sold out. Coach, what's your expectations for the next couple hours?
My expectation is 3,200 rowdy fans having a blast tonight, good food, good drink, watching great baseball, and seeing the Pippins win their first home opener of the season with fireworks to go at the end. So I expect big things.
Coach Crustangel and the rest of the Pippins will be in action momentarily. Starting lineups are next. This is Pippins pregame. And now here's the starting lineup on opening day for your Yakima Valley Pippins. Leading off and playing center field, number 3, Tayson Miller. Batting second and playing second base, number 26, Daichi Furuhata. Batting third and designated hitting, number 17, Nick Velasquez. Batting fourth and playing right field is number 40, Malachi Emery Henderson. Batting fifth and catching, number 25, Parker Burt. Batting sixth and playing first base is number 34, Grant Yost. Batting 7th and playing left field is number 27, Garen Guler. Batting 8th and playing third base, number 12, Jackson Walker. And batting 9th for the Pippins and playing shortstop, number 30, Cameron Fleck. Again for the Pippins, Miller, Furuhata, Velasquez, Emery Henderson, Burt Yost, Guler, Walker, and Fleck. And the starting pitcher for the Pippins is Dylan Greenaw Groom. We'll get to him right in the top of the first inning. This is opening day for the Yakima Valley Pippins.
Two and two. Ellis needs to dial one in. Tension building here at Yakima County Stadium. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Ball game over. 2-1 victory. Pippins over Sweets.
First pitch, a high drive out towards right. Back goes Chavez. He's looking up. Bye-bye.
baseball, grand slam, Dylan Anderson. Bring him home and touch him all. He's been here all summer and it finally pays off. That was all we needed. 2-1, the final score, and we get ready for fireworks as a happy bunch. Yeah, that's right. Baseball is back in the Yakima Valley as we get set for opening night between the Yakima Valley Pippins and the Walla Walla Sweets. Earlier today, it was a hot commodity to get into this ballpark. A line stretched not all the way to the Kingdome, but around the Kingdome was outside the gates waiting to get inside. The first 1,000 of them got a specialty giveaway jersey like the Pippins greens they'll be wearing this year, and it is electric inside the Orchard, Yakima County Stadium. New addition this year to the Orchard out in right field is a party porch that we're hoping somebody's finally going to be able to catch a home run ball at this stadium. Private events and all sorts of fun activities can be had out in right field. It's certainly going to be a great season here in Yakima. The Sweets and the Pippins, it's a story as old as time, or at least as old as the Pippins franchise is, and it's as close as it can be. 35-34, Yakima Valley has the slight margin, but the Sweets come into this game winning the last 4 of the 9-game series last year over the 4th of July weekend. So some old rivalry that is being renewed with a new coaching staff on both sides and a couple of electric arms on the mound tonight as we get ready for the first pitch of the 2026 season. We're going to take a quick break and step aside for the national anthem, but when we come back, that first pitch will be thrown and we'll have baseball in the Yakima Valley. Don't go anywhere. Pippins and Sweets coming up next.
At this point, we would ask that you please rise if you were able, remove your hats, and face the flag being presented by the Yakima Valley Honor Guard. Performing your nation's anthem, hailing from the Yakima Valley, we have 11-year-old Noella Delgado singing our nation's anthem.
Not even a busted microphone can stop what is one of the greatest traditions in all of baseball. The national anthem played right before first pitch as we get set here for the 2026 season. So much to talk about here as we get ready for the season, as we get ready for this game. But, of course, you have to hit the weather before we can even get into the entirety of this season. It's a cool one here in Yakima. Despite having 90-degree temperatures earlier this week, it's 65 degrees after a thunderstorm blew through last night, dumped some rain on the field, and the wind is blowing out to right field normally. We do have some swirling wind that is going to blow in at times. Humidity at 43%. Not expecting any more of that rain tonight, though. It should be a perfect night for baseball and then fireworks to follow. And so the Pippins will be sending out Dylan Greenock Groom, who on the season, the left-hander, is coming from Spokane Falls Community College, committed to New Mexico State, and with Spokane Falls had a great time as he made 11 starts with a 6-0 record and a 121 whip, striking out 44 over 45 and a third innings. He's going to be facing Walla Walla Sweets top three hitters Peyton Knowles, the first baseman, Troy Osborne, the catcher, and Gaines Hassan, the third baseman. The rest of the Sweets are Gunnar Guile, the center fielder, Nate Petz, the right fielder, Isaac Torres, the designated hitter, Andrew Deminu, the left fielder, Austin Owens, the shortstop, and Logan Nakamura playing second base. They are managed by Leo Rivera. In his first season, he was an assistant coach last year for the Sweets, but he is taking over as the head man this season. The defense for the Yakima Valley Pippins to start the season will be Garen Guler in left field. It will be Tyson Miller in center field, and in right field will be Malachi Emery Henderson. On the infield at third is Jackson Walker. At shortstop is Cameron Fleck. The second baseman is Daichi Furuhata, and the first baseman is Grant Yost. Catching for Greenock Groom is Parker Burt, the Hall of Famer out of who played with Casper in Wyoming. He's actually going to be inducted into their Ring of Honor tonight at the Casper Spuds, a different collegiate league. 2026 season is underway. 65 degrees here in Yakima, and I'm so glad you're with us. As I begin my second season, the Pippins begin their 12th season of play. That pitch just downstairs, and it evens us up at 1-1. Big crowd filing in as we get the 2026 season kicked off. Under the lights, no doubt, as that pitch misses outside. Sun setting over by the Cascade Mountain Range, and it'll be dark enough for fireworks by the end of this night. So glad to see folks back in the ballpark again. Greenock Groom, the 2-1, wave and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes as Coach Kyle Crustangel returns for his 5th season with the Pippins after taking the year off last year. Hoping to see some good things out of this southpaw as the 2-2 pitch comes home. Breaking ball bounces, Burt unable to get it. And so the count runs full. Early test here in the 2026 season. Peyton Knowles, the first baseman, leading things off for the Sweets. Knowles, 6 foot, 195, and he's going to draw a leadoff walk and a base runner to start the year for the Sweets. So that'll bring up Troy Osborne. Osborne from the University of Portland, doing the catching today, a native of Grants Pass, Oregon. Umpiring crew today, Thomas Glenn is behind the dish. Michael Gray is in the field as he assumes the B position for the field umpire. Greenock Groom out of the stretch for the first time. Fires a fastball in there, and it's laced out to center field for Miller to catch on the bounce. Tripping around second is Knowles, but no harm done. A walk and now a hit. The Sweets have an early threat. That was a solid line drive base hit for Troy Osborne, as now Gaines Hassan will step in. Cumberland University is where Gaines calls school home. Native of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. He's come a long way to play in the West Coast League. 16 teams this year, and even 8 on either side of the division line. 8 in the north and 8 in the south. Greenock Groom fires that one between the legs of Parker Burt. He has to fight his way through Thomas Glenn, and both runners move up. Call that a wild pitch.
And it's ball one to Gaines Hassan. Greenaw Groom struggling just a little bit. Might be some opening day nerves. Pippins bats yet to take the field. Nobody out. 2 runners in scoring position. An early chance here for the Sweets. Sent down the right field line, but this is foul. The wind will normally carry balls foul that direction, prevailing from left to right across this great ballpark. At this point, you're trying to limit the damage and give your sticks a chance to come to the field. That pitch just inside. The large crowd here at the Orchard disagrees. Count now 2-1. Still plenty of time left to go in this ball game, plenty of time left to go in the season. Nothing to fret about, but Greenaw Groom in a pickle. The 2-1 upstairs, and Parker Burt almost had to jump out of the crouch to get it. Burt is a tall man, standing at 6'4". A walk here loads the bases. It does put a force everywhere. Three 1 sent down to right field. Emery Henderson drifting back towards the short porch, makes the catch. Both runners will tag, and a run will score. There's one out on the board, but the Sweets lead it 1-0. Sacrifice fly for Gaines Hassan. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Gunnar Guile. Osborne moves up to third, and now here's Gunnar Guile, a guy who was with this team last year. 1 of 6. Infield comes in for the Pippins as Guile sends one well foul down the left field line. The center fielder from the University of Arizona, a native of Arizona from Tucson. Guile digging back in, behind in the count 0-1. Guile, the lone member of the University of Arizona Wildcats on this team for the Sweets, as he takes a strike to fall behind 0-2. Still some folks filing into their seats. You saw that line during the pregame. It was long, and it took probably an hour for most of it to even get into the ballpark. 0-2. Just upstairs. Greenaw Groom still alive in the count, 1-2. I mean, this is great. Folks up in the GA seating, down in the reserve bowl. An expected sellout tonight. 1-2. Guile almost offered at it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Quite a few returners on this Walla Walla Sweets team. We'll get into that as the game goes along, as this is driven out towards right field. Guler was playing in. He'll drift back and make the catch. Tagging from third and coming home to score will be Troy Osborne. So back-to-back fly balls. It's 2-0 Sweets, but the bases are empty with one more to get. That's what you talk about, limiting damage. With the base pads empty, you just need some sort of out here from Nate Petz, who is the right fielder today. First pitch missing. 1 ball, no strikes. Petz from Whitman College. Native of Sacramento, California. Taking a strike there to even the count. Petz was rated the number 34 catcher in California in the class of 2024. He's playing right field today as he lifts one high but shallow into left field. Guler coming in, peeling off his fleck, and Guler will make the catch to retire the side. 2 runs come home for the Sweets, but we get a chance to see the Pippins bats for the first time when we come back. Sweets 2, Pippins coming up.
Remove the home team.
Welcome back to Yakima. Walla Walla leads it 2-0. As we get ready to see the Pippins bats for the first time, they will face Charles Rogers III, who in his time in college has really only been a couple of innings starter. His longest appearance averages out to be about 2 innings when you look at it. The native of Lake Elsinore, California. 36 innings he worked, but 25 starts. So that means not all of his starts were very long. 20 strikeouts, 9 walks, as he will face Tyson Miller, Daichi Furuhata, and Nick Velasquez to lead it off. Miller, a quick center fielder out of Cal State Bakersfield. Pitch in the dirt, it's 1-0. Miller, during the non-league game on Wednesday in the first inning before he even had a chance to bat, showed off his speed. He had a fly ball that was tracking to his right that he ran probably 100 feet to go get. That's probably an exaggeration, as this is poked out to center field, and Guile puts it away on 2 pitches for out number 1. That'll bring up Daichi Furuhata, second baseman, and a multi-purpose guy, although much better known for his infield skills. Furuhata, native of Nagano, Japan, one of 4 Japanese players on this Pippins roster. First pitch, he watches it for strike 1. This season with Southwest Oregon Community College, Furuhata was blazing hot, 363 batting average. Sends that one over to first on 2 bounces. Knowles will flip to the covering Rogers, and there's quickly 2 away. If you're scoring along with us, that's a 3-1 put out. As now Nick Velasquez, the designated hitter, will dig in. Velasquez, one of 2 lefties to start it off here in the top 3. So you go lefty, righty, lefty against the right-handed throwing Rogers. Started the Wednesday non-league game and went 2 for 2. Looking to build on that as the pitch misses outside for ball 1. Velasquez from the Redlands, California. Waiting on the 1-0 pitch. Fouled straight back. Evens us up 1-1. Citrus College is where Velasquez calls home. As the defensive alignment for the Sweets is Diminu, Guile, and Petz in the outfield. Hassan, Owens, Nakamura, and Knowles on the infield. That's left to right both ways. Osborne doing the catching for Charles Rogers III. 2 balls, 1 strike here to Nick Velasquez. Out of that full windup, Velasquez sends it foul. He's just late on that pitch. 2-2 with 2 outs. So again, the defense for the Sweets. There you see it on your screen. Diminu, Guile, Petz, Hassan, Owens, Nakamura, Knowles, and Osborne behind the dish. Pippins trying to find a base runner as they trail 2-0. 2-2 up our way, but just over our heads here in the press box. And a souvenir certainly going to be picked up out by the front gate. Velasquez stays alive as the wind starts to whip just a little bit. That pitch misses outside. The count runs full. And that flag out in center field could be a little deceiving. It's got the tree blocking it a little bit, but wind certainly swirling around the ballpark here. Slight shift on against Nick Velasquez.
Payoff pitch. Popped a mile high on the infield. Who wants it? The catcher Osborne sheds the gear. He's looking for it and on his knees makes a catch and robs Velasquez of a mile-high grain elevator home run. Instead, the Pippins go down in order, 1, 2, and 3, and we head to the second inning. Sweets lead it 2-0 here at the Orchard.
They say Walla Walla Sweets are so sweet you can eat them like an apple. A fun fact, eating an apple like an apple is way better. If you're actually eating an onion like an apple. There are fantastic concessions here at the Orchard. Now that involve eating a Walla Walla Sweet onion. But coming up in the middle of this next inning, we are going to have some apple pie. And a pie eating contest. My friend Bailey is baking the pies right now. They're going to come out hot and fresh and ready to go. Middle of the second inning.
Pippins defense back to work as Dylan Greenock-Groom heads out to the hill for his second inning of work. Gave up 2 runs in that first inning, but you look at it, walk, single, and then 3 flyouts. So certainly nothing to worry about if you're Dylan Greenock-Groom. You've settled into this game just a little bit after giving up 2 runs on 1 hit and no errors, but leaving none on the base paths. Pippins, meanwhile, went down in order as the first pitch missing downstairs to the designated hitter, Isaac Torres. Sending that one down the right field line foul. Torres from Bakersfield, California, one of the many Colorado Mesa products for the Walla Walla Sweets. A great pipeline there for Leo Rivera. He's got 4 guys from the Division II powerhouse on his squad as this is back up the box. High chop over to Fleck on the run. That's a nifty play for the Pippins shortstop, Cam Fleck. It almost got a piece of Greenock-Groom on the way by. Instead, it's 1 out, and now Andrew Diminu. Diminu, 6 foot, 195. Pendleton, Oregon, his hometown. First pitch missing. 1 ball, no strikes. Plays at Eastern Oregon University. Here's another name you might recognize if you followed the Sweets last year. Hard line drive down the left field line. This is foul, not by much. Home plate umpire Thomas Glenn immediately signals it, though, as Garen Guler scoops up the loose change. If you can keep it down the line and elevate just a little bit, this park is very hitter-friendly, but anywhere else, and you're going to need to muscle it out. That pitch did not have the elevation, but certainly was hit hard enough. 1 ball, 1 strike. Breaking ball slipped out of the hand of Greenock-Groom. Maybe feeling a little bit of that cool temperature we have right now. Three balls and a strike. When you think of summer, you don't think of 66 degrees and wind whipping everywhere, but that's what a storm front going through in the late hours of the evening yesterday will do to you. 3-1, this is drilled out towards the scoreboard. Guler racing back into the shadows, has room as he squares up and makes the catch for out number 2. Long fly ball for Deminu, but he thought that was a double. He's headed back to the first base line just now. He was standing on second base for a moment. As now Austin Owens digs in. Owens the shortstop. Freshman from Grand Canyon takes a first pitch strike. Owens wearing number 1. Walnut, California. As he's quickly behind 0-2. Greenaw Groom coming right after him. Would love to see a 1-2-3 frame from the lefty. The 0-2 pitch. Outside. High school days at Bonita High School for Austin Owens. Now hanging out here with the Sweets as he spends some time with Grand Canyon during the spring. 1-2, wave and a miss, got him. Foul tipped right into the mitt, and that's the first strikeout of the season for the Yakima Valley Pippins. 1-2-3, go the Walla Walla Sweets. We go to the bottom of the second. Sweets 2, Pippins looking to score. Pie eating contest here in the middle of the second inning. Tell you what, it might not be warm enough for a crisp apple pie, but those folks chowed down on those anyway. 2-0 Walla Walla Sweets as Rogers gets set for his second inning of work. The Sweets going down in order, ground out, fly out, strikeout. As now Yakima Valley will send up the middle part of its order. Malachi Emery Henderson, Parker Burt, and Grant Yost, right field, catcher, and first base, represented on the offense this inning for the Pipps. I mentioned the series history between these two as a one-game margin for the Pippins, 35-34, but in this ballpark, the Pippins have a 4-game advantage. It's 20-16. First pitch is a strike. Malachi Emery Henderson. A tall outfielder from Wenatchee Valley College. In the count now 1-1. Emery Henderson was well represented in the postseason out of WVC. First the 1-1, big cut, trying to head out towards that party porch. Emery Henderson was all Pacific Northwest first team in the outfield and all NWAC second team in the outfield. Had a great offensive season towards the end as he gets the barrel or the end of the barrel of that bat on it and fouls it into the stands. And our first souvenir of the season belongs to someone over that way. Crowd still filing in. Some folks grabbing some food and grabbing a seat here at the ballpark. Emery Henderson again foul. This one's out of reach and into the parking lot though. And the parking lot is getting full. It was very impressive to see the line of cars that was just trying to make their way in and grab a spot. Another 1-2, just getting a piece of it, Emery Henderson. The Sweets again playing to pull as they have Nakamura on the cut of the grass and Knowles defending the line over at first base. Quite a big gap up the middle if Emery Henderson can get good wood on it. Third straight 1-2 pitch. outside, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. There you see the defensive alignment, along with some of the great artwork down on the field. Two, called strike 3. Emery Henderson couldn't get the bat off his shoulders on that one. 4 straight retired for Charles Rogers III. That'll bring up Parker Burt. Parker Burt, the catcher in this contest, actually ran into him in the clubhouse right before the game, and he was putting on those sleeves. He said, man, it's starting to get cold. The shadow of the ballpark grandstand slowly creeping over into fair territory on that third base side. Burt taking ball 1. Burt from Texas, Mansfield, Texas, to be more specific. Last played at Regis University. Even count now, 1-1. Spent his first year in college at Dallas Northlake, and then most recent at Regis. A couple of great offensive years. Batted over 300 in both of them. 1-1 big cut. Makes it 1 ball and 2 strikes. Burt, although the team was not quite as successful, 1932-1, hit .364 at Regis. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That is an impressive number in 33 games. You only get 88 at-bats and you bat .364. That's a very healthy number. 2-2, over to first. Knowles waits for it to come down. High hop, and Burt is going to leg it out. Parker Burt busts one down the line, and the Pippins have their first base runner. We'll see how that's scored. Likely a hit based on the hop. Wicked hop, as Knowles just not tall enough to get there. Nakamura almost got the shovel pass onto Rogers. Pippins have their first hit. Now let's see if they can find their first run. Grant Yost digs in, wearing that number 34. Yost playing first base today. Swings and chops that one high out to Nakamura. He's just going to flip on to second for 1, on to first for a double play. Pippins get their first base runner, but they go 4-6-3 to retire the frame. To the third inning we go. Sweets 2, Pippins nothing here at the Orchard. Dylan Greenock-Groom back out for his third inning of work here on opening night in the 2026 season. Yakima Valley Pippins hosting the Walla Walla Sweets in the first of 9 meetings this year. Historic battle of the Basin rivalry series. Second straight year these two teams will play 9 in a season. Sweets came to Yakima twice last year, so the Pippins will return the favor and head to Walla Walla twice in the middle of this season. The only man that hasn't hit yet for Walla Walla, Logan Nakamura, digs in. Infielder at the University of Portland. Lefty stick, shoots it the other way, and down for a base hit in front of Garen Guler. Nakamura digs around first, but throws on the brakes late, as he'll be held to a single on a strong throw by Guler. So back to the top of the order after the opposite field base hit. And Peyton Knowles, who drew a walk and then eventually scored back in the first inning. Forcing Groom back to the stretch after a 1-2-3 frame in the second. Downstairs, Nakamura dancing off the bag. The throw down not in time. Burt had to scoop that one out of the chalk of the right-hand batter's box. One ball, no strikes. As this is drilled out to center field, but Tyson Miller is there, and he puts it away for the first out of the frame. It's very hard to get a ball in the gaps in this ballpark just because of the way the dimensions work. It's not quite like your typical ballpark where it starts on the corners and gradually gets out to its deepest point. It's really flat along the left field side especially, and then from right field up until about the edge of the party deck, it's about as flat as can be. And then it curves in a lot right at the foul pole. First pitch strike here to Troy Osborne. Osborne singled out to right field back in the first inning and then would come around to score on the second sacrifice fly. Runner goes. The pitch is called a ball. The throw is offline and late. And it's a stolen base for Logan Nakamura. Osborne also out of the University of Portland. Redshirted at Sacramento State and then transferred to his new spot in Portland. 1-1, sent foul into the general admission. He can play catcher. He can play outfield. He was a four-time team MVP in high school at Grants Pass down in Oregon. One-two downstairs. Runner takes off. And that will be another extra 90 feet for Logan Nakamura. If he was running on the pitch, it's a stolen base. If he was running after the ball was spiked, then that's likely a wild pitch. It's 2-2 to Osborne. Infield moves in. Wave and a foul tip caught. Second strikeout of the night for Dylan Greenock Groom, and there's two away. That leaves it up to Gaines Hassan to score that third run for the Sweets. He's standing 90 feet away. Hassan does have an RBI already on the season, as he had a sacrifice fly out to right field back in the first inning. A mile-high pop-up. This one's drifting down the right side into foul territory. Yost back over towards fair territory, but it stayed foul. Doesn't matter as the catch is made and a runner is left stranded. We go to the bottom of the third. Pippins trying to get around the base paths for the first time this season. 2-0 Sweets. Well, if you can't tell, the Orchard is the place to be tonight. Opening night here in 2026, the West Coast League season. Pippins and Sweets, a rivalry as old as time, as they get ready for the softy baseball toss. Pippins going to send up the bottom three in their order, starting with the local product, Garen Guler. Guler was a part of the squad last year, native of Natchez. He'll try to dig in and get that second hit on the board for the Pippins, try to get that first run. Here in Yakima, the Pippins won 4 of the 6 games they played against the Sweets last year. Guler takes ball 1. Charles Rogers III still working. And Guler last year was actually a very good contributor, as he fouls that one off. It's 1-1. Towards the end of the season, was held hitless for a few games and finally worked his way into a more comfortable spot. You look at last year's numbers, the 167 batting average, not great, but those 7 hits all came down the stretch. Big cut and a miss. Guler now behind in the count 1-2. And Garen coming off of a very successful season with Yakima Valley College. After he was named All-NWAC first team in the outfield, an East Region Gold Glove winner in the NWAC, shoots this one down the first baseline foul. Started the year off with a bang in the spring. Against Grays Harbor, went 10 for 13. Driving in 8, scoring 7 times. One, two, watches strike 3. Guler doesn't quite agree with Thomas Glenn, but he'll head back to the dugout for out number 1. Second strikeout for Rogers. That'll bring up another YVC product, Jackson Walker. Utility man playing third base today. Infield playing just about straight up as Walker spits on ball 1. Well, for Jackson, also had a very good year with YVC. All-NWAC second team as a third baseman. NWAC East Region Big Stick Award, which I assume they give to the player with a lot of offensive contributions. NWAC East Region first team. 2-0 hacking. Makes it 2 balls and a strike. And for these YVC guys, they've got to feel confident knowing that their associate head coach here at the Pippins is their hitting coach with YVC. Coach Gunner Ueda Pancheri. Three balls and a strike to count. Let's see if Walker can find a way on. Cam Fleck waits in the on-deck circle. There's ball 4, and the Pippins have a 1-out base runner. First free pass allowed by Charles Rogers III. And now he stands down there, does Walker next to Panch, his coach over at YVC. Kind of a cool connection to see those local products. There's a look at Coach Panch, as he's affectionately known. All 3 of these coaches this year have great nicknames. You've got Coach Crust Angel has Krusty. Coach Panch, obviously, and then returning to the Pippins in a different way this year is Ethan Salscheider, who's the pitching coach this year after spending 4 years here as a player. Super excited to work with those 3 as we progress throughout the season. Cam Fleck faces a 1-0 count as he shoots one foul back over towards the parking lot. Cam Fleck, full name Cameron. Plays his college ball at Chandler Gilbert, one of the top JUCOs in Arizona. Now behind in the count, 1-2. Fleck hitting with one out. Pippins looking to send it back to the top of the order, barring a double play. Sweets have already turned one tonight. Let's try to avoid that. 1-2 from Rogers. Wave and a miss. Strikeout number 3 for Charles Rogers III. And there's 2 away for the top of the Yakima Valley order. Tyson Miller flew out to center field back in the first inning. Let's see if he can put good wood on it and get Jackson Walker around. Wind starts to whip just a little bit again. You might be able to hear that in our crowd microphone stuck out the window. Kind of an abnormal weather day in the Yakima Valley, at least when I've been here. Tyson Miller out of Long Beach, California, was rated 66th outfielder in California in the class of 2025 by Perfect Game. But he is fast. If he gets on, he will likely look to steal. Saw that one at the bottom of the zone, but it's called a strike by Thomas Glenn. In limited work with Cal State Bakersfield, hit .348 over this 2026 campaign, only 17 games. Most of his action coming down the latter part of the season as he lifts one high into the Bermuda Triangle behind first base, drifting into foul territory. That's Nakamura putting it away to retire the side. Pippins leave their first base runner stranded. No runs on no hits and no errors. We're through 3 already here in Yakima. We head to the middle innings, 2-0 Sweets. Top of the 4th inning upon us here in Yakima County Stadium. Glad you're with us. Harmon Johnson along with our entire production crew. Shay and Marcos back with us this season. 2-0 Sweets as this large crowd kind of anticipating the setting sun, and it's going to get chilly here tonight. Started the game at 66 degrees, and I'm sure it feels a little cooler over in the shade on the home clubhouse side down the third base line. First pitch from Dylan Greenaw-Groom clips the top of the zone to Gunnar Guile, who drove in the other run back in the first inning on a sacrifice fly. This ball lifted out towards Malachi Emery Henderson. He's back towards the party porch, and his tall frame is able to snag that ball before it goes over. Let's not make the first home run to that area a Walla Walla Sweet. We'd love to see a Pippins hitter get it out there. But with the wind blowing the way it's going, just about anything up in the air has a chance. If you're wondering the distance out to that short porch, it's about 305 to the first segment of fence that juts backwards from the foul pole. Of course, the wall is only about 4 foot tall. 1-1 now to Nate Petz, the right fielder, who flew out to end the first. Got a pretty good contingent out there occupying the right field party porch, though. They were up close and personal with Malachi Emery Henderson just a second ago. Back up the box, and this will sneak through for a base hit. Petts able to pick up the third hit of the season for the Sweets, as there's one on with one out. Not much the Pippins defense could do about that one, as now Isaac Torres, a designated hitter, will try to get Nate Petts around. Torres swinging first pitch and sending it out towards Miller. Drifting over as the wind blows it into right field. Miller will be the one that makes the catch in front of Emery Henderson. That's a difficult play to make as an outfielder, knowing that you have a beat on the ball, but you're drifting out of your home territory. I mean, Miller had to run quite a distance. Just look at where he starts. Moving into right field. But an out is an out, and there's two away with the runner at first for Andrew Deminu. First pitch strike. Deminu flew out to left field back in the second inning. That was the second out of that frame. Would appreciate another fly out here if you're the Pippins. Runner takes off. Breaking ball outside. The throw down is a laser, but it is just late. Correct side of the bag, just couldn't quite get the tag down in time. It's a stolen base for Nate Petts. Pitch was called a ball as the breaking ball stayed outside. Action begins down in the Pippins bullpen in left field. Chopper out towards short. Fleck takes it on two hops. Across the diamond to Yost, and the side is retired. 2 runs on the board still as the Sweets strand another. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Pippins looking to break the goose egg. Oh, that's a classic right there. The dizzy bat race down the foul territory on the third base side here at the Orchard. We're headed to the bottom of the 4th inning. Sweets 2, Pippins 0. As Rogers III continues to work. We mentioned in the open that Charles Rogers III had 25 starts. He only pitched about 30 innings, though, which meant most of his starts were short, almost as if he was used as an opener. But possibly trying to be stretched into a full-length starter here, as he will get ready to face 2, 3, and 4 in the Yakima Valley order, starting with Daichi Furuhata. He grounded out over towards first base back in the 1st inning, and Rogers was covering the bag to retire the side. First pitch to him, outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Furuhata on Wednesday against Cascade Collegiate League in the kids game. He went 1 for 2 with an RBI on a sacrifice fly. As now it's 2 balls, no strikes. He also lined out in his 3 plate appearances. 2-0. He reaches for that one to the top of the zone, but this one is heading into the stands and actually onto the concourse. 2 balls and a strike. Furuhata, 47 games with Southwestern Oregon Community College, a .363 batting average, hoping to carry that into the summer. Also drew 15 walks in his 168 at-bats. On the verge of doing that here. Pippins have not had a leadoff hitter on. 3-1 on the ground over to third. This is past the diving Hassan and into left field. Furahada with a big turnaround first. He'll hold up there. There's a leadoff single to start the fourth for the Yakima Valley Pippins. Nick Velasquez, the designated hitter, going to try to get Daichi around. That's a perfectly placed ball over on the left side of the infield. So the Pippins now with 2 hits. That first one from Parker Burt was not very routine. It was a high chop past Knowles at first. Daichi with a decent lead. First pitch not going. It's downstairs to Nick Velasquez. Action down in the Sweets bullpen as this looks to be Trey Morse warming up. Right-hander from Gonzaga. Pippins also have an arm in their bullpen. 1-0 left upstairs. Got to wonder if Rogers is running out of gas as Osborne will head out to chat with his starter. I did bring a pitch counter up to the booth with me, but getting so caught up into the activities of opening day, I forgot to start clicking it when the game started. So I will keep accurate pitch counts throughout the season, I promise you, my dear viewers. But today is just kind of a fluke. That's okay. One mound visit used for the Sweets as Nick Velasquez is ahead in the count 2-0. Furahada has not yet run. He did steal 11 bags out of 14 tries with Southwestern Oregon. Not going again, and that pitch just misses at 3-0. Osborne froze for a split second, waiting for the call. Nick Velasquez has the entire book wide open to him. Infield playing more up the middle for Velasquez. 3-0 taking all the way. And a courtesy strike pumped in there by Rogers. In the bullpen for Yakima Valley, the Pippins have Andre Seifers, a freshman from Montana. 3-1 is drilled down the right field line, but well foul. Velasquez turned on that one, and he's kind of looking off into the eastern skies, wondering where that pitch might have landed. So now the count runs full. Nobody out. We'll see what happens over at first with Furahada. Stays put. Velasquez takes ball 4. Pippins have their best scoring threat yet early on in this season, and now that'll force a visit from the pitching coach for the Sweets, Corey Keir. Furahada and Velasquez being beckoned over to Coach Crustangel as both teams going to take a visit here. It's Malachi Emery Henderson due up to hit for the Pippins, as now the entire Sweets infield will come in to chat. First time that the Pippins have had a man at second this season. I get it, it's corny, but it's true. And a great opportunity with a left-handed bat up to try to put a dent into this one. Pippins will take on the Walla Walla Sweets the next couple of nights as it's opening weekend, and then that early season off day to kind of catch your breath after your first 3 games will be on Monday. And then the Pippins will head down to Springfield to take on the Drifters on Tuesday. That'll be our first radio broadcast. Excited to bring that one to you. Of course, excited to be with you for the next 2 games after this one on the video stream as well. Here's Emery Henderson. Struck out looking back in the second on a pitch that fooled him. First pitch down low. 1 ball, no strikes. You've got Parker Burt a righty on deck as well, but the catcher has good bat-to-ball skills and can put it in a gap. Pippins looking to get away with at least one here. Runner at second, runner at first, nobody out. Morse continues to warm up for the Sweets. Emery Henderson swings through that one. That shadow can be a little confusing between home plate and the mound. You can see it there. The hitter, the catcher, the umpire in darkness. The pitcher is still in sunshine as the sun continues to set beyond the ridge. 1-1 to big number 40, Malachi Emery Henderson. He drills one out towards right, going back Pets, he's looking up, and this ball is gone! Emery Henderson, make sure you touch first, kid. The Pippins have the lead for the first time in 2026. Coming home to score, Furahada, Velasquez, and Malachi Emery Henderson has this place pumped up. This ball didn't need the short porch. It cleared the 16-foot wall. A jolt of energy here to County Stadium, and that's the end of the line for Charles Rogers III. Malachi Emery Henderson gives the Pippins their first lead of the season, and we'll take a break while we get a new pitcher on the hill. Pippins lead it 3-2 in the bottom of the fourth. Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. Pippins lead it 3-2 on the three-run shot by Malachi Emery Henderson off the bat at 91. It went 339 feet over that 16-foot wall. So we still have yet to have a fan catch a home run. Nobody in the short porch was able to snag that one on the fly. And that'll bring in Trey Morse from Gonzaga University. The righty stands at 6'1", 195, calls Mountain Home, Idaho his hometown. Standout at Mountain Home, 2025 Idaho Player of the Year before committing to Gonzaga. He pitched for Walla Walla last year, 23 innings, struck out 27. And he comes into a relatively easy situation other than the fact that the Sweets have given up the lead. There's nobody on, there's nobody out. But 3 runs have come across, and this large crowd on opening night has been energized. Malachi Emery Henderson rounded the bases to a thundering applause of foot stomps on these metal bleachers. That's a tradition I can get behind here at the Orchard. And that'll bring up Parker Burt. Burt, the catcher from Mansfield, Texas, has to be feeling like it's time for him to get in on the action as well. So all 3 runs will be charged to Rogers, all 3 of them earned. He walked a pair, and he struck out a trio. First pitch swinging for Burt. This is a foul ball out of play. So call it 3 innings plus worked for Charles Rogers III. Giving up 3 hits, one of them left the yard. Burt plunked. He's a catcher. He knows what it's like to take care of it, and he'll hand the ball back to the opposing pitcher as the Pippins have another base runner on with nobody out. That worked out well the last time when Daichi Furuhata singled, Nick Velasquez walked, and then Emery Henderson drove him home. That brings up Grant Yost, grounded into the double play back in the second inning. Two runs on 3 hits for the Sweets, 3 runs on 3 hits for the Pippins as that ball is shot into the netting. Backup catcher and former Pippin, Ethan Buckley, will grab that baseball and send it across to the bat boy. Good to see Buck again, one of the 2 Pips that was with the team every game last year. Caught the inside part of the plate. It's 0-2 to Grant Yost. So Burt's been on twice. Yost trying to avoid the result of the second inning. 0-2, out to short. Owens bobbles it. Everybody's safe. Owens' feet got in the way of his hands, and that's immediately ruled an error. Pippins again threatening, second and first, and nobody out. Garen Guler standing in as Owens, a costly error. That was likely a double play ball with the catcher running to second. Guler leaves one upstairs. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Doritos Locos Tacos on the line if the Pippins score 5 or more if you're at the ballpark. As Guler plunked in the lower half. The bases are loaded for Yakima Valley, and there's nobody out in the bottom of the 4th inning. That'll force Osborne to go have a chat with his young pitcher, Trey Morse. Caught him right up on the calf, right below the knee. There you go. If you need a reason to come to the Orchard this summer, cheer for the Pippins to score 5 or more, and you can walk out with free tacos. Precarious situation here for the Sweets. The bases are loaded, and you're likely going to bring the corners in as you defend against Jackson Walker, who's a capable stick in his own right. Mentioned his accolades with YVC in his first at-bat. That pitch missing for a 1-0 count. Crowd here knows what's on the line now. Walker batted .315 for the Yaks of Yakima Valley College. And he takes a strike there. And the count moves to 1-1. Coach Krusty in the third base coaching box, encouraging Walker to try to get a base knock. Morse all alone on the hill. Big cut. Walker was trying to get more than the 5 runs needed for tacos there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's been a long time in the dugout for Dylan Greenock Groom. The Pippins did have Andre Seifers warming up. We'll see what the move is now that the Pippins have the lead. Looking to add on here, the 1-2, and just getting a piece of it foul off of his body. Walker lost the lid in the process, but the count remains 1-2. We reset here at the Orchard. Michael Gray, the field umpire out there in the C position, helping make the call on the foul ball. One, two, tipped and caught. Walker went chasing outside. There's the first out of the bottom half of the fourth. So now Cam Fleck, the other left side infielder, try to find a gap. Any gap will score at least one. This is the 8th hitter the Pippins have sent to the plate. There's only one away. A high pop on the infield. This will be ruled an infield fly if fair, but it is caught in foul territory and has the same effect. Knowles ended up catching that one in front of his dugout. There's 2 away. Now the 9th hitter of the inning, Tyson. A fly out and a pop out. He's hoping to find some green grass. As now Coach Crustangel is going to call an offensive timeout. Well, that worked the last time here in the 4th inning. It ended up with a 3-run home run from Malachi Emery Henderson. Pippins bats and runners will get together and discuss strategy. Coach Crustangel told me he's an aggressive guy on the base paths. He wants to steal. Obviously, you're not going to in this situation. But he wants to try to get as many runs across. Very competitive coach. Also a player's coach. Wants to see the guys healthy when they head back to school in the fall, but also really wants to win, especially in front of a crowd like this. Pippins fans waiting in anticipation here. 3rd time through the order for Yakima Valley. On the ground, botched over at 3rd. Burt running home, and everybody's safe. The Pippins played a 4th here in the 4th, and they've batted around. It was a hard hit ball on the ground as Leo Rivera talking with the home plate umpire about something. 2 errors in this inning. Charge to the Sweets defense. Call it an E5. Scoring was Burt. Yost is at 3rd. Guler's at 2nd. Miller now stands at 1st. Messy scorebook if you're scoring along with us. A line drive out to right field, but that is caught on a slide by Petz. The 4th inning finally comes to a close, but not before the Pippins get 4 runs on the board, 3 of them courtesy of Malachi Emery Henderson on a 3-run blast to right field. Pippins 4, Sweets 2, we head to the 5th. Top of the fifth inning here in the Orchard. As we welcome you back with the Pippins commanding their first lead of the season thanks to that man. Malachi Emery Henderson, a 3-run blast as he takes his spot out in right field. Going to have a conversation with the folks after that home run. That's the ball. That's a cool moment. Did end up getting tracked down out there in right field. It was well past that fence. The Sweets will send up 8, 9, and 1 in their batting order as they find themselves trailing for the first time in 2026. Austin Owens, Logan Nakamura, and then Peyton Knowles for the third time. Dylan Greenock-Groom still out there. Has a first pitch swing, and this is fouled over towards the inflatables. A party area now takes up part of that area behind first base. If you want to have some fun, there's some inflatable games to play and climb on. You can't see them from the ballpark, but certainly some fun for the younger generation. That pitch just missing outside. It's 1-1. I was wondering if Greenock-Groom would come in to try this fifth inning after a very long pause in the fourth. Breaking ball hung and deposited out into left field in front of Guler. Austin Owens with his first hit of the season. That's already 4 for the Sweets as we're here in the top of the fifth. One of the other members of the Sweets with a hit today, Logan Nakamura, digs in. He singled the opposite direction back in the third. Andre Seifers still out in that Yakima Valley pen. First pitch back up the middle, might be 2. Furuhata steps on the bag himself, on to first, double play. Greenock-Groom says thank you very much as Daichi flashes the leather. A perfect double play ball right off the side of the mound and a perfect feed onto first. So now back to the top of the order, Peyton Knowles. As now Greenock-Groom tries to get through 5 and qualify for the start. Would love to see that kind of strong outing here at the early parts of this season. 1-0 nearly clipped him. Knowles backed away, and I think he thought the breaking ball was going to clip him. Greenock-Groom requests a new baseball. And if you don't know this year, the West Coast League has switched to Rawlings as their ball provider. And it is sweet. These baseballs feel like the thing the pros throw. Outside, and it's 3-0, a very hitter-friendly count here to Peyton Knowles. That's the cool part about the West Coast League, though, is you never know when the next major leaguer is playing right in front of you. 3-0, there's a strike. Greenock-Groom stays in the at-bat. Notable West Coast alumni to make it to the majors recently. Of course, you got to talk about Travis Pisano. Played for Corvallis. 3-1 downstairs. And that will be ball 4 to Peyton Knowles. Second walk drawn by him. Getting close to decision time for Coach Crustangel. You have Troy Osborne due up here as a right-handed hitter. Greenock-Groom has worked out of trouble so far in this one. After he gave up a leadoff single in the third, he went 1-2-3 to retire that side. And then a one-out single in the fourth. Got back-to-back outs to get out of that side unscathed as Burt with a good smother to keep that one at bay. And now Coach Crustangel going to head out to the mound. No signal yet. I think he just wants to talk with the infield. His 2 offensive meetings worked. They both resulted in runs almost immediately afterward. So we'll see if this defensive meeting will give the Pippins a chance to find this third out. Sun nearly set behind the Cascade Mountain Range way off to our west. Just a little bit of remaining sunbeams drifting through. As now Thomas Glenn breaks up the meeting and confirms how many mound visits are left. As here comes a, oh, no good look at this guy. I'm looking at our preview window as well as our program window, and Marcos had a great shot of the sun, but that's okay. We'll get back to baseball. Troy Osborne, the catcher, 1 for 2 today, a single, a run scored, and a strikeout. Thought about chasing it high, but left it alone. It's 2 balls, no strikes. You have another righty in the on-deck circle in Gaines Hassan. Greenock Groom looking to get out of it. That pitch rides inside, and it's a 3-ball, no-strike count. Seifers has been ready for a while. He's just kind of lightly holding the ball in his hand, waiting for the call. 3-0, and that's ball 4. Everybody hesitated for a second, but Osborne draws a walk. And now Parker Burt going to go have a chat as Seifers trying to get hot again. He was warm. Now he's throwing again. Pippins had a mound visit to burn, so they will use it. Back-to-back free passes allowed by Greenock Groom. Two defensive visits used. Here's Gaines Hassan. As we get ready to be about halfway through this one, we'll take a look at the other scores around the league momentarily in the bottom half of the 5th. Of course, we're not the only ones playing tonight, as there's ball 1 to the third baseman. Greenock Groom struggling here at the end of his outing. Pippins lead at 4-2. The 1-0 breaker caught the zone, and it's 1-1. Hassan, a sacrifice fly that drove in the first run, and then a pop out in the third inning. As he pops another one over towards first base, drifting towards the Sweets bullpen, and this will be on top of the picnic deck down right field. So now Greenock Groom a strike away from getting through 5 and qualifying for what would right now be a win. Pippins got him 4 in the bottom of the 4th. Here in the top of the 5th, the outfield plays to push, the infield plays to pull. A check of the runners, and the 1-2. Popped up on the infield. Burt looking for it behind the dish. Squeezes it and has it. Greenock Groom fires up the crowd. He's through 5. And the Pippins are halfway home with a 4-2 lead here in the home opener of 2026. Bottom of the fifth inning here at Yakima County Stadium. 4-2 Pippins as we take a look around the rest of the West Coast League here on opening day. A couple of scores in division. Springfield currently leading Bend 2-1 in the top of the fifth inning. That game down at Vince Guinness Stadium. Portland hosting a interdivision game with Victoria. They lead it 2-1 in the bottom of the third. Of course, those 7:15 starts down there in Portland are something pretty late. The rest of the league looks like this. Wenatchee at Edmonton tonight. The Riverhawks lead at 1-0 in the top of the fourth inning. Kamloops is leading Corvallis in Kamloops 6-0 in the top of the sixth inning, as Ridgefield leads Nanaimo 6-2 down in Ridgefield, top of the seventh. Bellingham at Kelowna tonight. That game just started. It's 0-0. Port Angeles at Marion, as it's the bottom of the sixth, 4-1 lefties. And we just mentioned the Portland score as well. It's 4-2 here as the Pipps look to get back to work on offense. Nick Velasquez digs in. The Pippins sent 10 to the plate in the fourth as they scored 4 on 2 hits and 2 errors, leaving the bases loaded. That pitch all the way to the backstop. Morse trying to get his footing under him in a clean inning. He came in with nobody on and nobody out in the fourth, but that was after the 3 runs had been given up. He's working out of the windup now as well, as this is popped straight back towards us, right in front of Shea, and into the second row of general admission. If you had a hat over there, boys, you could have caught it. That group of fans right there below us. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Velasquez. Inside pitch, 2-1. Morse, attending Gonzaga, got through that freshman season and now looking to work here in the summer. Another foul ball back this way, but it will head towards the gate. Business major, concentration in finance. When his days are done on the baseball field, he'll make quite a bit of money. Broken bat out towards second. It's the first baseman, Knowles, and covering the bag just enough time is Morse. Velasquez almost legged that one out, but Michael Gray says that's out number 1. Malachi Emery Henderson, the right fielder who hit the home run in the fourth, is now back up here in the fifth. Outside ball 1. There's one early memory you're going to have this season so far. It's going to be Emery Henderson's swing back in the fourth. Another home run hack there, but it's 1-1. Again, it was 339 feet. 91 off the bat is a little bit low velocity-wise, but the wind also blowing that direction. Lifts this one in off the hands, out to right. Petz loses the lid. He puts it away for out number 2. Parker Burt now getting ready to dig in as Emery Henderson's bat still taking up residence over in that left-hand batter's box. Great work by our ball boys. Got quite a crew this year. There's about 4 of them down there, each one with different responsibilities. Burt's been on twice. Single hit by pitch and now a foul ball out of play. Came home to score a run after the home run by Emery Henderson on the error by the third baseman Hassan. Inside, it's 1-1. Well, Burt was on base twice in the non-league game against CCL on Wednesday. It was 2 walks that had that. Check swing, did he go? No. Scott T. Pippin making some friends, signing some autographs. How does an apple sign an autograph? I guess just like that. 2-1, back this way, foul. Scott T, quite the popular person now. There's quite a few people around that apple. Home plate umpire Thomas Glenn holding up play here. Looks like there's some equipment that is laying out in the bullpen for the Pippins. John Witt going to grab that and take care of that. Meanwhile, Parker Burt with 2 away sits in a 2-2 count. Two, ring him up, called strike 3. Pippins go down quietly in the 5th. We head to the top of the 6th inning here at the Orchard. Pippins lead it 4-2 in this one. Sixth inning upon us here at Yakima County Stadium. New pitcher into the game for the Pippins after Greenaw Groom gets through 5. Andre Seifers is on for the first time this season. Right-hander, was a freshman at Yakima Valley College this last season. Out of Montana, one of the few products you see that comes out of the state of Montana, Kalispell, Montana to be more specific. Big, tall righty. Appeared in 9 games for the Yaks, 33 1/3 innings pitched. 23 strikeouts and a whip of 147. Has experience pitching against teams from Walla Walla, as he went 5 1/3 in a start against Walla Walla Community College back in April, allowing 2 earned runs and 4 hits. So now Seifers will relay his pitch mix to Parker Burt. And Dylan Greenaw Groom's night is done, but he's gotten through 5 with the lead. The Sweets will send up the heart of their order, 4, 5, and 6, starting with Gunnar Guile. Guile on the day, 0 for 1, a fly out, and a sacrifice fly. This large crowd sticking around as they're anticipating fireworks later tonight. Seifers' first offering is downstairs for ball 1. So glad to see people back at the ballpark again. I got into town on Friday of last week, so a week ago, and was working all this week at the ballpark, and it was kind of lonely without this big crowd, and we're expecting good crowds throughout the season. Theme nights every night. Check out pippinsbaseball.com to see more. We'll get the details of those upcoming this homestand later on in the broadcast. Seifers even in the count as that pitch a strike on the outer black. He's going to live and die by the fastball, and it's a good one. Right around 90 is where it hovers. 1-2 pitch from Seifers. Outside. Makes it 2-2. Night continues to cool off here. That's a scenic shot of the backdrop here at Yakima County Stadium. 2-2, up and in. And so the count will run full. First action of the season for Seifers. Pitch missing for ball 4. Guile on base for the first time. That'll bring up Nate Petz, 1 for 2 with a single. Well, you look at Greenock Groom's line through 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned. Pippins have not yet committed an error. Just a pair of strikeouts for Greenock Groom, but got a lot of weak contact and a lot of ground balls that his infield could handle. Seifers misses downstairs with that first pitch. Only a couple of walks, too, for Dylan Greenock Groom. Overall, a great start. On the ground foul. That's past Leo Rivera in the third base coaching box, and now a member of the Pippins bullpen staff will go retrieve that loose change. Runner takes off. The 1-1 is tapped high back towards the mound. There'll be one play. It's at first. One away, and now the runner thought he was doubled off. Into a pickle we go. 3-4, back to 3, back to 4. Daichi runs him down. The tag applied. He is out. Gunnar Guile thought he was doubled up. And in the end, that's the result. So score it 3-1 on that first out. And then the rest is 1-3 to 4-3 to 4-1. How about that? And now a first pitch strike to Isaac Torres. Seifers fires in ball number 1 to even the count. An early season mistake there by Gunnar Guile. He started trotting back towards first base. Sawed off the end of the bat, into the stands. Watch out. Souvenir over on the left side. That was close. Got to pay attention when you come to the ballpark. Your only safe spot is when you're watching right here with us. Seifers with a gift out, now ahead in the count 1-2. That's behind the batter Torres. Two balls and 2 strikes, had a pitch to waste. And so we do it now at 2-2. That pitch on the ground, foul. So we will do it again. Harmon Johnson with you. Second season as the voice of the Yakima Valley Pippins. Honored to be back. Along with our amazing video crew. A 2-2 pitch with 2 away. The other way, and this is a fair ball down the line. Guler has to chase it into the bullpen where it bounces around for a while. A strong throw into second, but Furuhata pulled off the bag. A 2-out double down the line for Isaac Torres, and the inning stays alive. That pitch was hit very well as a lefty going the opposite way, and now Andrew Deminu will stand in with a runner in scoring position. Deminu's 0 for 2, fly out and a ground out. First pitch upstairs from Seifers. Sweets got 2 runs in the first, but since then have been held quiet. As you might be able to hear some balloons being blown up in the press box. That pitch in the dirt, good smother by Burt. That's an interesting spot to do that. Two balls, no strikes here to Deminu, the left fielder. Seifers trying to strand another runner for the Sweets. They've left 4 on the base paths. That pitch bounces away from Burt and towards the backstop. Holding up at third will be Torres. As I was just informed that that was a test run of the T-shirt cannon that we're going to be using. Certainly caught me off guard. 3 balls, no strikes is the count to Deminu. Seifers gets a strike. 3-1. Pippins in the bottom of the 6th will have 6, 7, and 8 due up. Three one, same spot. Count will run full. And now Seifers a chance to get out of the inning. Pippins dugout looking on with anticipation. The payoff pitch. Foul, and this one will stay in the yard off the net, right at the feet of Brendan Cabrera. New hitting coach and first base coach for the Sweets. Again, Leo Rivera in his first season as the head man. He was an assistant last year. A second payoff pitch. A high drive out towards left, but it will die on the way to Guler, and that will retire the side. Another runner left stranded as the Pippins able to get through 6 defensively, now looking for more in the bottom half of the inning.
Let's get music, guys. So I had a little insight on that rundown there. Photographer was the guy came back from the dugout really mad because the first baseman was yelling, "Foul ball, foul ball." Yeah. Weird play.
Bottom of the 6th inning here at Yakima County Stadium. Still Morse out on the mound for the Sweets as the Pippins send up Grant Yost to start off this bottom half of the inning. 4-2 the score. The Pippins got all large crowd on hand waiting for the fireworks show afterward, of course, but enjoying another good baseball game. These two teams love to play close games early on in series when they face each other. First pitch fouled off by Yost. That's kind of a raw deal. You get a t-shirt cannon and you shoot underwear out of it. We saw that as home plate umpire Thomas Glenn holding up play while the PA read finishes. Good job by the umpire looking out for the players. There's a strike. That's number 2 against Yost. 0 for 2 today, but the second time he was up, he reached on the error by the shortstop Owens. Came all the way around to third. Waving and missing at an inside pitch. Down on 3 strikes is Grant Yost. So now here's Garen Guler. Strikeout looking and a hit by pitch had him at second back in the 4th. The hometown kid trying to do some work. Chance of Guler coming from the Pippins faithful. Pitch upstairs. That pitch inside, and now Thomas Glenn gonna talk to Coach Crustangel. That's the second time that public address has been active during the at-bat while the pitch is being thrown. I think that's what he's going to talk about here. All for fun, but you do have to respect when the players are actively playing. That's probably what that conversation is. Thomas Glenn, a veteran umpire, multiple circuits. Crew chief of this 2-man crew comprised of himself and Michael Gray. (2-0), big cut. 2 balls and a strike as Guler trying to erase the 0 for on the day. Granted, it's only 0 for 1. Hit by pitch doesn't count as an at-bat. That pitch upstairs, and it's 3-1. Pipps looking for some one-out magic. And that would be ball 4. Morse walks another. So after back-to-back strikeouts dating back to the 5th inning, it's a free pass, and Jackson Walker will dig in. Walker is 0 for 1 as well. He walked in the 3rd, and he struck out in the 4th. First pitch, big hack at the top of the zone for Walker. He's come out of his shoes a couple times, but both pitches have been close to hittable. I think if he could make contact with one of those, it'd be pretty loud. 0-1 off the end of the bat, foul towards the backstop. Walker and Guler, teammates at YVC, and now Guler headed off to Portland to play for the Pilots. Walker trying, they're teammates right now. I think we got the picture, though. Walker is also headed to a new destination after YVC. He's headed to St. Louis. Stepping off Morse, trying to reset. New rules this season for the pitchers is transitioning to the college rule where you can pick off as many times as you want, but you can only step off twice. It's kind of an adaptation of the professional rule. Still allows for some pickoffs. 0-2. That gets away from Osborne, but not far enough to advance Guler. That's one of the rule changes. The other one you've probably noticed already through this game is the orange safety base over at first. That was a rule that was adopted during the winter meetings and has become common in the college game and some of the lower levels of the game as well, trying to provide safety when there's a close play at first. The professionals, they just made the bases bigger. 1-2, Walker pokes it the opposite way down the right field line, but this will get out of play foul. And over towards the inflatables. As Thomas Glenn needs a couple of new baseballs. There's been quite a few foul ball souvenirs. We ran into this on Wednesday with the kids game, that there were quite a few balls lost that didn't come back.
Round of applause for our ball boy, ladies and gentlemen.
Thomas Glenn restocks, and Trey Morse ready to go. Night continues to cool off here in the Palm Springs of Washington. 59 degrees with still about a 10-mile-an-hour breeze. 1-2, wave and a miss. Walker unable to get it. Back-to-back strikeouts for him personally. And there's 2 away. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Cam Fleck. Shortstop's 0 for 2 today. Strikeout and a pop out in foul territory to the first baseman, Knowles. Fleck, a high drive into the corner over there in left. Coming in, Deminu. He wheels around it, and he makes the catch as Owen stumbles to his feet. That was an interesting route, but it worked nonetheless as Garen Guler is left stranded on the base paths. It's getting late here in Yakima. To the top of the 7th we go. 4-2 Pippins here in the season opener. Well, it's a jacket and shorts kind of night here at the Orchard. The Pippins lead at 4-2 over the Walla Walla Sweets. Fireworks to follow this season opener, opening day here at Yakima County Stadium. Of course, the stadium has been around since the 1990s, been used by the Pippins since 2014. And I'll be interested to see what the final attendance announced was tonight. It was officially sold out, and the place holds a capacity of 2,800. One of the bigger ballparks in the West Coast League. Wind continues to blow as well. That makes it a little cooler. Don't worry, the heat will come, but not tonight, not this weekend. It's supposed to be relatively nice the entirety of the weekend here as the Pippins and the Sweets do battle. First pitch low from Seifers in his second inning of work. After Dylan Greenaw-Groom went 5, giving up 2 runs. Seifers trying to get through 2 at least. This pitch foul over towards the Pippins dugout. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is Austin Owens, who fell to the seat of his pants trying to help out Deminu out there in left field. The grass is just a little slick after the rain last night. Left-handed action up for the Walla Walla Sweets. As it's now 2-1 to Owens. The hurler down in the bullpen for the Sweets looks to be Rylan Blair. 2-1, got him. Austin Owens crowding the plate, got a piece of his elbow on the way by. The Sweets have a leadoff base runner. That'll bring up Logan Nakamura. He's 1 for 2, got all the way to third back in the third inning, but was left stranded there. He's one of 5 base runners that have been left on the pads by the Sweets. First pitch strike here from Seifers. There have not been very many truly clean innings in this one. One from the Pippins side defensively. As Burt going to check down to first. The tag is not in time. And only one true, or two, 1, 2, 3 innings for Yakima Valley on offense. There was a third one where only 3 men stood up to the plate, but it was a double play that ended it. So count that as you will. Runner takes off. The pitch is a strike. The throw is off the mark, but good backup by Furuhata. It's a stolen base by Austin Owens, but it's 1-2 now to Logan Nakamura. Owens with his first stolen base of the season. Seifers looking for that first strikeout. On the ground, a high chop over to first. Yost now covering it, Seifers. The race to the bag. It is not in time. Michael Gray in the C position was a long way away from it, and the Sweets will have runners at the corners, and Coach Crustangel is going to have a chat with the field umpire. Coach Crusty will stand up for his players, as now he asks for help from the home plate umpire, Thomas Glenn. No replay available in the league, so whatever is called stands, and man, that was a close play. Looked like Seifers beat Nakamura to the bag. It's just a matter of was the ball in his glove in time. As it stands right now, it's an infield single, and runners at the corners. Umpiring crew having a quick chat. Here's another look at it. Yost shoveling it over. Man, that was close. So now the answer coming to Coach Crusty, and he is in fact safe. Hard call to overturn as Coach Crusty not leaving the field quite so easily, and now Leo Rivera is going to head back towards his side to have an offensive meeting. Going to bring everybody together and have a chat while Parker Burt gives the signs to his infield. Man, that's a close play, and sometimes that's just the way it goes, but that's an out that Seifers really wanted because it gives you one out and a runner at third and a chance to bring the infield in potentially to keep the run off the board if you so choose. Not exactly the strategy everybody employs just because you're up by 2, but the play over at first was a close one. We'll take one last look at it. Man, that's close. Given an infield hit for Nakamura. He's 2 for 3 tonight. And now some trouble here on the base pads for the Yakima Valley defense. Outside ball 1 from Seifers. Runner at third is Owens. Runner at first is Nakamura. Crowd here trying to encourage the defense. Lined into center field. Miller barely has to move. Now he drifts back. This is deep enough to score the run. One away, and it's 4-3 Sweets as the sacrifice fly by Peyton Knowles brings home Austin Owens. That's one away, and it does keep Nakamura at first, and a double play will end the inning. Had that call been out at first base, you could have potentially gotten out of this inning unscathed, but still a chance to limit the damage as that pitch is up near the eyes of Troy Osborne. 1 for 2 tonight. A single, a run scored, a walk, and a strikeout. Cotton candy skies overhead here at the Orchard. That pitch inside, nearly clipping Osborne. Picturesque. Seifers working through some trouble. 1 run already given up. That pitch is swung on, but not foul, so the runner will advance. So now you can't get a routine double play. You'd have to have something funky. And the tying run is in scoring position. Two-one, again out towards Miller. He's going to come in this time, and he didn't see where it was. That ball just died. Picking it up is Emory Henderson. The throw to the plate beats the runner, but it's offline, and it is tied. 4-4 on a bloop double in the top of the 7th. And when I say bloop, that's about as bloop as it gets. Osborne replaces Nakamura at second. And it's a brand new ball game here in Yakima. Good strong throw by Emory Henderson, but it was just off the line to where Burt had to go and get it. First pitch swinging here by Hassan. This is over towards the corner. Emory Henderson watches it, and this is foul. Thomas Glenn took a second to make sure he saw it right, and it just drifted on the right side of that pole. Well, the umpires are told at this stadium that the ball tends to drift foul. Not to influence their judgment, just to try to help them out because it is such a hard angle with the high wall and the short pole. It's just a long, loud strike one, though, here in the top of the 7th in a 4-4 ball game. This one's foul. Similar direction, but definitely foul. No balls, 2 strikes. Seifers looking for a second out here in the 7th. Left-handed action in the Yakima Valley pen. O2 popped up on top of our head here in the broadcast booth, and it is just past the roof. There it comes. No balls, 2 strikes. How about some live organ music here at the Orchard? That's a new addition this year. I like it. I hope that's going to happen for the 7th inning stretch, which is coming up in the next 2 outs. Oh, 2, breaking ball called strike 3. Hassan down looking. Seifers strikeout number 1 on the season. There's 2 away. Now Gunnar Guile trying to get the lead back for the Sweets. He has to do it with 2 outs and a runner at second. That's Troy Osborne, the catcher. Pitch down in the dirt. And Guile is headed over to first. There was no signal on the field. He thinks it hit him. Now the umpires are going to get together. Both coaches are confused. There was no signal by Thomas Glenn. And yeah, they're going to rule that it did not hit Gunnar Guile. We're going to take a quick peek at it. And if he thought it hit him, it must have hit him in the back foot, but he does pull that back foot away. Leo Rivera trying to stick up for his guys. So now both coaches have had a word with home plate umpire Thomas Glenn about a play that didn't go their way. That's a sign we're settling into the summer. Guile faces a 1-0 count. No advance by the runner out there, Osborne. That pitch just inside. 2-0. This game started out fairly quick. Walla Walla scoring 2 in the first. Yakima Valley got 4 in the fourth, and now the Sweets with 2 here in the 7th. Big cut. Ball behind the feet of Burt, but Osborne not going anywhere. 2-1. Sweets trying to reclaim the lead. Gunnar Guile 0 for 1. Sacrifice fly, walk, and fly out. 2-1 outside, makes it 3 balls and a strike. Of course, Guile was the guy who thought that it was a double play back in the 6th inning on a ground ball back to the pitcher. And it ended up being a double play, just not in the traditional sense. (3-1) breaking ball in there for strike 2. Big payoff pitch coming here. Pipps looking for a strikeout to remain tied. Runner at second is Osborne. Guile in the box. Seifers double checks the runner and the payoff pitch. Poked out towards Garen Guler. Ball dying fast. Guler is not going to get there. It's a fair ball. Guler into the bullpen, and the Sweets reclaim the lead. Another double for Walla Walla. Gunnar Guile makes it 5-4 here in the top of the 7th. Soft contact killing Yakima Valley here in the top of the 7th. That keeps the inning alive for Nate Petz. Everything off the end of the bat right now. Seifers keeping these Walla Walla hitters off schedule, but they're just getting enough. Starts off Petz with ball 1. So back and forth we're going to go as now Ethan Salscheider going to make a quick visit to the mound. His first mound visit as a pitching coach. He's been a part of many of these as a player. Glad to see Salsa again. Got to see him briefly last year with the Pipps, and Pippins fans saw him 3 years before that. Seifers watches his teammates depart from the visit, and Yakima Valley will continue to have action down in their bullpen. Looked like Bodie Ramsey, the lefty, was up and throwing at one point. See, one of last year's Pippins, Koshiarai, there on the bottom right of that screen. Wave and a miss by Petz. It's 1-1. So far, been a pretty balanced game. Lots of zeros by the pitching staffs, and then crooked numbers every time up to the plate when they've scored. Out towards center field, Petz is going to drop this one down for a hit. Miller lets it go through his glove. The run scores easily, and Pipps will motor into second. He was going to be content with a single with a run scoring, but instead that's going to be a single and an error added on top. It's now 6-4 as Walla Walla has a 4 spot of their own. First error committed on the season for the Pipps. You can still give Pipps credit for the RBI. The runner was in scoring position, so you figure he score anyway. As that pitch well outside from Seifers, and Isaac Torres is the 8th hitter here in the 7th. Well, pardon me, this is a pinch hitter. This is Landon Runyon, the outfielder, a senior from Whitman College. Leo Rivera digs into his bench and brings out a lefty stick. That is his only lefty on the bench, as that's a hack and a miss to make it 2-1. So Runyon into the game as the designated hitter. And left-handed throwing Bodie Ramsey back up in the Pippins bullpen. Two one, sent straight back. And now it's back to 2-2. Pipps were close to getting out of this one when Gunnar Guile was up at the plate, but it's been a hit by pitch, single, sacrifice fly, and then double strikeout, double single, and an error in center field. 2-2, high and tight, runs the count full. Andrew Diminu waits in the on-deck circle. Another payoff pitch from Seifers. Roped foul over towards the inflatables. And we will do it again. Large crowd on hand trying to get behind Andre Seifers. Labored his way now through an inning and 2/3. Payoff again is into center field and down for a base hit. Rounding third on his way home is Pipps. And Runyon off the bench cold delivers an RBI single to make it 7-4 Sweets. 5 runs have crossed in the top of the 7th. Now Seifers having a chat with the field umpire, Michael Gray. Don't quite know what that might be about, as Parker Bird is out there to try to calm down the right-hander. That's 3 straight hits for the Pipps. Or excuse me, for the Sweets. 3 straight hits against the Pipps, what I meant to say. And overall, that's 5 hits in the inning for Walla Walla. 5 hits, 5 runs, numerous base runners, and Seifers still in there. Andrew Deminu, the 9th man to hit. Fouled straight back. 2 of the 5 runs have come after the strikeout by Gaines Hassan. But one of the outs did result in a run scoring. That was a sacrifice fly. As it's now 0-2. Pippins bats will have work to do when we get to the bottom of the 7th, as we anticipate 1, 2, and 3 in the Yakima Valley order. Over at first is Runyon. The 0-2 home. Seifers misses with that one, makes it 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, this large Pippin contingent trying to get behind Seifers. One, two, wave and a miss. The ball is dropped. The throw will be completed down to first, and the side is retired. Stretch time here at the Orchard, 7-4 Sweets as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Take Me Out to the Ball Game, sung and done. Live organ performance as well as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. New pitcher on for Walla Walla. It's Ryland Blair out of Whitworth University. Relief pitcher, as was last in action on May 16th of 2026 when he was in the NCAA regional game against Husson, pitching 2 1/3. No hits, 4 strikeouts, 2 unearned runs targeted to him as well. So the lefty comes on to face Tyson Miller, Daichi Furuhata, and Nick Velasquez. And then hopefully more of the Yakima Valley order after that. Miller trying to atone for an error out in center field. That allowed the inning to continue. Run would have scored anyway, but could have possibly kept a runner at first. Miller watches outside, 2-0. Tyson today is 0 for 3, looking for that first hit out of the leadoff spot. Fly out, pop out, and he reached on an error. The same error that allowed the Pippins' 4th run to cross back in the 4th inning. Miller the opposite direction. Demonu was playing in, but he'll drift back a few steps and squeeze it for out number 1. That'll bring up Daichi Furuhata. Daichi today 1 for 3. Single scored in the 4th, grounded out in the 1st, and lined out to end the 4th. It's been a long time since Daichi's had the bat in his hands. First pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Daichi from Nagano, Japan. Now 2 balls, no strikes. Mentioned the last 2 years he's been at Southwestern Oregon Community College, and he told me the other day, committed to Northwest Nazarene. Another great spot for the Pippins players to land after community college days. 3 balls, no strikes here to Daichi, though, as he digs back in to face Blair. So the 3rd arm used today by Walla Walla, 2nd out of the pen. 3-0 taking all the way. You'd love to see the Pippins string together some runs here. Fireworks show will make everybody happy, but a Pippins win on top of that would be superb. 3-1, Daichi draws the walk. He'll sprint down to first, drop his gear off with Coach Panch, and now set the table for Nick Velasquez.
We want to win this game, but we also just want to get that one more taco run.
Velasquez today is 0 for 2, but he did score a run back in the 4th. Grounded out in the 5th, popped up to end the 1st. Velasquez takes upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. So after being around the zone to Miller, Blair just a little bit wild to start the 7th. Takes a look at Daichi. 1-0, drops a breaking ball in there to even the count. It's always hard as a base runner to try to get a decent lead with the lefty looking right at you, but Daichi is not daunted. He's about 3 steps off. Not going. This is on the ground through the right side. Furuhata around second. He's going to scramble his way to third. Here's the throw. It is not in time. The ball dropped. And moving up on the throw is Velasquez. Pippins have 2 in scoring position. A good rip by Velasquez through the right side. Furuhata knew he was going to have to be quick to get it into third safely. And then the ball just finds a spot down on the dirt as Malachi Emery Henderson with a chance to really fire this crowd up. A mound visit here being used by Osborne to talk to Blair as he's in a bit of trouble here. Pippins fans trying to add to the pressure. Quite a few still on hand here. I see the cowbells made its return as well this year. Malachi went yard back in the 4th inning. Brought home the first 3 runs for the Pippins this year. One of those would tie this game up. Pippins would just like a base hit, though, too. 2 in scoring position, 1 out. Lefty-lefty matchup. Lays off that one downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. You know what this crowd wants. Blair brings it. Big cut by Emery Henderson. Now you know what Malachi wants. Blair and Emery Henderson. The pressure being applied here by Pippins fans. Waving that turquoise bat. That's outside. Osborne tried to present it as a strike, but Thomas Glenn not fooled. Bodie Ramsey continues to warm for the right-handed action for the Sweets. Emery Henderson pops this one up. This is coming over towards the stands, and this is on the roof. A dent on the paneling up there now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Malachi's going to have to stay alive. Long pause as we await the 2-2 pitch. Here it comes. Spiked through the legs of the catcher Osborne. Coming home to score is Furuhata. Pippins get one back, and it's 7-5. This pitch just spiked. Down and away. Furuhata scores. Velasquez up to third on the wild pitch. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes now, as Emery Henderson still stands in. Here's the payoff pitch, and he just got a piece to stay alive. That pitch was inside. He was just able to get that one off the knuckles. First time we've given out Taco Bell. 5 runs on the board. Pippins looking for more. Man at third, 1 away. Emery Henderson stays alive, back towards the press box and out of play. We will do it again in the full count. You love to see this kind of game to start. You don't want to sustain this over the season, but I love a good back and forth battle on opening night. Three-two. Ball 4 down and away. Tying run is on base. Go-ahead run steps into the box in the form of Parker Burt. And now Leo Rivera is going to make a pitching change. He made the signal to get the right-hander, and Blair comes in, gets a fly out, a walk, a single, and another walk, giving up a run in the process. The 2 on the corners are his, and we'll get more information on the new arm when we come back. Pippins threatening here. Runners at the corners as they trail by 2 in the bottom of the 7th. Quite a bit of the crowd still sticking around here at the Orchard. Walla Walla still leads at 7-5. Glad you're with us here in the bottom of the 7th inning. I'm Harmon Johnson, your voice of the Yakima Valley Pippins, again for the 2026 season, alongside our incredible video crew, Shay and Marcos, and the rest of the Pippins organization, as we welcome Jacob Talbot to the mound for the Walla Walla Sweets out of Biola University, a native of Yorba Linda, California. 6 foot, 185. The right-handed hurler is also listed as a utility player. He can play the infield. Was with the Sweets in 2025, both on the mound and as a hitter. And in 2026 with Biola, he appeared in 20 games with 15 starts as an infielder. He also had 57 innings on the mound with a 5.68 ERA. He enters with runners on the corners, left there by Blair. And now Parker Burt looking for his second hit of the night. He's plunked. He didn't get his second hit. He was hit for the second time, though. And now the bags are loaded. Not necessarily the way you want to start if you're Talbot, drilling Parker Burt right in the hip. Burt's going to be substituted for a little bit of a quicker runner. We'll get the substitution here momentarily. As that's Tommy Lamb, number 67. So Lamb will run for Burt, and then we'll likely see one of the two other catchers on the roster for Yakima Valley come in to finish the game. Burt did his job, though. On base 3 times. Bags are juiced, and here's Grant Yost. First pitch nearly hit him. Yost today 0 for 3. Strikeout, reached on an error, grounded into a double play. He handcuffed himself, swinging at an inside pitch. Standing over at third is Nick Velasquez. Malachi Emery Henderson drew a walk and advanced to second. And now, after being hit, Parker Burt's spot is occupied by Tommy Lamb. Pippins already got one back after giving up 5 in the top half of the 7th. Looking to continue to add on. 1-1 pulled into that dugout. Watch out, boys. The mob sent scrambling. As it's 1-2. Would love to see Grant get his first hit of the season here. Would likely mean a tie game, depending on the location. 1-2, couldn't come up with it. He swings through it, and Talbot gets his first strikeout. So it'll be up to Garen Guler, the Natchez native and one of the Pippins from last year. Again, it's Velasquez at third, Emery Henderson at second, and Lamb over at first for Parker Burt. Guler kind of the de facto captain of this team, being so close with the people in the community. There's a strike. Like I mentioned, most of his hits last year, the 7 that he got with the Pippins, came down the stretch during those last couple home series against Springfield and Ridgefield. Big moment here for him. Guler takes inside. Talbot nods his head in agreement. He thought he could steal a strike there. Left-handed action in the Pippins bullpen. Haun Tanaka up and throwing. One pitch. Guler chases one. And now it's 1-2. Garen going to have to protect the plate, stay alive, and try to drive in a run. Still time left in this ball game, but a prime opportunity here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bags full. Talbot on the mound. He sends it home. Guler watches downstairs. Jackson Walker, who spent a few years in the Yakima Valley himself, at YVC, waiting on deck. Talbot ready. 2-2. Guler in off the hands and foul. Did it shatter the bat? He's checking, and looks to be okay. Every pitch, more and more pressure building. Leading off the inning was a flyout, then walk, single walk, hit by pitch, strikeout. Bags full. 2-2. Guler watches his lips, and it's a full count. The runners are able to get a head start. Talbot in the middle of an island, surrounded by Pippins. Pippins crowd feels it. Velasquez at third, Emery Henderson at second. Lamb over at first, replacing Parker Burt. Garen Guler in the box. The payoff pitch is upstairs, ball 4. A run will score, and it's 7-6 Pippins. Give Garen Guler an RBI on the walk. And now Kyle Crustangel going to have a chat with Thomas Glenn. Talbot walks home a run. Granted, not charged to him. That will be charged to Blair. And it looks like the Pipps might be wanting to either pinch hit or pinch run. And they will choose to pinch hit. Stepping up to the plate will be Luis Garcia out of New York, New York. Garcia, the product of Western Oklahoma State. He's coming up in the spot of Jackson Walker, the third baseman. What a spot to come into. Fresh off the bench. First pitch hacking, and it's 0-1. Garcia, 1 of 3 from Western Oklahoma State. Waves that black stick behind his head. Talbot brings home the 0-1. Garcia back up the middle. This is stopped by Owens at short, and that will end the threat, flipping on to second. The Pippins get 2 back as they score a couple, but they leave some runners on. To the 8th inning we go, 1-run game here at the Orchard. Welcome back to the Orchard, top of the 8th inning. It's a 1-run lead for the Sweets as they will send up 8, 9, and 1. Some defensive substitutions to make note of if you're scoring along with us. As Cam Fleck will move over to third, and coming into the game to play shortstop is Levi Correa. And behind the dish, replacing Parker Burt, will be Obvil Ramos, the other Western Oklahoma State product. So a change in the defense for the Pippins after a couple of pinch hitters and runners in the 7th, and now Austin Owens is ahead in the count 1-0. Seifer's still out there after giving up the big inning there in the 7th. There's a strike, count even 1-1. And so Ramos will go in Burt's spot in the 5-hole, which means that Correa will head in the 8-hole, replacing Jackson Walker. 1-2 the count now. Seifer's finding the zone. Outfield alignment remains the same for the Pippins. That pitch just missing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ramos behind the dish, native of Venezuela, from Barquisimeto. Two-two pitch. Wave and a miss. The ball dropped, but Ramos heading to the outside of the bag high retires the first out of the inning, Austin Owens. And so Seifer's got his job done, faces the righty, and Seifer's will depart. We'll have a new pitcher, left-handed hurler, when we come back. Good work by Andre. Pitching change. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Orchard, top of the 8th inning. 1 out is replacing Seifer's on the mound. Will be left-handed throwing Hon Tanaka, another one of these former Yakima Valley Yaks of the NWAC. 5'11", 180, as Yakima Valley not his only stop during his collegiate career, was part of Indian Hills Community College the year before he came to Yakima. Is also not his first summer league in the West Coast League. He was up in the Western Canadian Baseball League during the last summer season. As he comes in to face the lefty, Logan Nakamura. Excuse me, this might be a pinch hitter. Nope, this is Nakamura. The 8 and the 9 look pretty similar. Two for 3 today. Wave and a miss. Hone in the count 1-1 with 1 out. Comes set up towards the belt. 1-1. That catches the black. And it makes it 1-2. Tanaka, likely going to be a one-inning guy, but he gets the job done, fills the zone up. Pitch downstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nakamura, a ground out into a double play back in the 5th inning, but a pair of singles. He was stranded at third. He came home to score. Under the lights now here in Yakima. That pitch just outside to run the count full. Nakamura digs back in. Got another lefty in the on-deck circle, Peyton Knowles. Payoff. Breaking ball missed. 1-out walk to Logan Nakamura. He's been on 3 times tonight. And now back to the top of the order, Peyton Knowles. Pippins have turned a double play. They've actually turned 2. The second one much less conventional than the first. Knowles today is still 0 for 1. 2 walks, a sacrifice fly, and a flyout. Up and in. Tanaka misses the strike zone to Knowles. I mentioned Hone pitching up in the WCBL as he misses there, 2-0. He was a member of the Regulators, played both first and pitched. At least he was listed that way. Check over to first, and this is not in time. Pippins trying to get out of this top half of the 8th inning and then get the sticks going in the bottom half of the 8th. Most of the crowd is stuck around as the weather's cooled off. Some folks have started to head out. 2-0. This is out towards the party porch. Emery Henderson going back. He's looking up, and this is long gone. Tanaka surrenders a 2-run blast to the leadoff man, Peyton Knowles. And the Sweets jump back in front by 3. It's 9-6. Nakamura scores, and so does Knowles. 11 hits on the night for the Sweets. 9 runs, 2 errors they've committed. As still no one in the party porch has caught that on the fly. It was well over their heads. That pitch outside. 9-6 the score now. 366 feet, 94 mile an hour off the bat on the home run by Knowles. This one out towards left. Guler ranging back, now steps in into his left and squeezes for out number 2. Two away, but 2 back in. Walla Walla gets those 2 Yakima Valley Pippins runs from the 7th back. Here's Gaines Hussein over into foul territory, and this will be in the seats. Row 1 coming away with a souvenir. Don't see that very often. Hassan on the night has popped up twice, struck out looking, and drove in a run on a sacrifice fly back in the first inning. That breaking ball stays low and away, makes it 1-1. Pippins do have 9, 1, and 2 due up in the bottom of the 8th. A little bit of a hill to climb. Out to center field. Miller ranging to his right. Settles under it and puts it away to retire the side. The Sweets get a blast from Peyton Knowles as they regain a 3-run lead. 9-6 heading to the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th inning here at the Orchard. Sweets lead at 9-6 on a long ball by Peyton Knowles, re-extending that to 3. So Yakima Valley will have some work to do with 6 outs remaining on offense. It's Cam Fleck, Tyson Miller, and Daichi Furuhata due up here in the 8th. Tell you what, it's been a lot of offense here in the late innings. 7 runs combined in the 7th and 2 already here in the 8th. First pitch from Talbot downstairs. Moves it to 1-0 on Cam Fleck, who has shifted over to third base since the last time he came up to hit. He'll have his center fielder Tyson Miller behind him, and then Daichi Furuhata. Fouled out of play. Fleck saw one he wanted, couldn't quite get a hold of it. One ball and 1 strike here as we dip deeper into the Yakima night. Temperature continues to dip as well. 57 degrees at last check. Wave and a miss. Fleck now behind in the count 1-2. Cam looking for his first hit of the season still. Strikeout, pop up, and fly out. See if he can jumpstart something here in the 8th. One, two, staying alive. Got enough of it to put it off the backstop wall. That might have caught a piece of Osborne on the way by, too, as Thomas Glenn cleans off home plate. Fleck digging back in. Talbot sets himself on the mound. Pippins have action in their bullpen for the top of the 9th. 1-2 over our heads. And again, staying alive, Fleck. Fleck with those turquoise batting gloves. Complements the black bat. Talbot in his first full inning of work here. Watches ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This is game 1 of the series, game 1 of the season, but game 1 of the series. Walla Walla and Yakima Valley do battle again tomorrow, 6:35. And then finish up on Sunday with an early start, 1:05. 2-2, called strike 3. Fleck upset with himself. He struck out twice in the ball game, and there's 1 away here in the 8th. Back to the top of the order, Tyson Miller. Miller 0 for as well. Pair of flyouts and a pop out. He did reach on an error back in the 4th. Miller trying to get on so he can showcase some of that speed, get around the base paths. Lays off downstairs, 1-0. In the exhibition game on Wednesday, had 2 stolen bases. That was just in the first 3 innings. There's a strike. Similar spot, but that one was elevated a little bit more. One ball and 1 strike with 1 out. Miller on the ground, foul towards the Sweets dugout. Behind in the count now, 1-2. Pippins looking for a late inning rally. They've had an answer so far both times, just haven't been able to get over the hill. Slicing foul the opposite way. Member of the Pippins reserves will gobble that ball up. Baseball, they call it a grind, but the West Coast League season's only 54 games. Every game important. So, yes, baseball's a grind, but it's also a sprint. 1-2 missing outside. Hassan thought there was a strikeout. He was ready for the reception down from the catcher Osborne, but had to turn around for the 2-2. No action in the Sweets bullpen. This is Talbot's lead to give up. 2-2 upstairs. Miller recognizing the strike zone well. Daichi Furuhata waits on deck. Velasquez and Emery Henderson hoping to get a chance to hit in this inning as well. Payoff, sent foul down the left field line, heading for a car exiting the ballpark.
We want to wish a happy 14th birthday to Ryder Stevie.
We'll do it again at a full count. Of course, you got to stick around for the fireworks show afterward. We'll keep the stream running. It'll be about 3 to 5 minutes after the conclusion of the game, just to let those fans that want to get out of the ballpark out before we shut the lights off. Payoff laid off. Tyson Miller on, 1 away, and now maybe a chance to showcase some wheels. That was a good at-bat by Tyson. Got behind early and slowly worked his way to that walk. Now here's Daichi Furuhata. He drew a long at-bat walk in the 7th and would later come around to score on a wild pitch. First pitch on the ground, base hit. Miller will stop at second as Daichi Furuhata with his second single of the night. That'll bring up the 3-hole Nick Velasquez as we take a look at that hit by Daichi. Pitch was down and a little bit in, and so Daichi just took it where he could. 2 on, 1 out, and the tying run in the batter's box. Velasquez and Emory Henderson, both left-handed hitters, facing the righty Talbot. First pitch breaking ball downstairs. Opening night always has a flair for the dramatic. Some folks standing around in the Pippins bullpen waiting to be called upon. (1-0), that is ball 2. Sweets disagree as they have now started to get someone throwing. Two balls, no strikes. Velasquez singled back in the 7th. This is on the ground, out towards second, and misplayed. Miller's going to come around third. Daichi heading for third. Velasquez stops at first. The Pippins get one back. Third error of the night by the Sweets. This one plates a run. Now runners at the corners, and the go-ahead run is in the batter's box. This is Malachi Emory Henderson. Strikeout looking in the 2nd, but then a 3-run bomb to give the Pippins the lead in the 4th, and Leo Rivera has seen enough of Talbot. He's going to go back into the bullpen. Pitching change here in Yakima. 9-7 the score. The Pippins with the go-ahead run in the batter's box. Don't go anywhere. Thrilling conclusion is next. Pitching change here in the bottom of the 8th inning as Walla Walla will get a new arm into the game. Well, hey, come back to the stream tomorrow, Saturday, May 30th, as the Sweets and the Pippins will battle in Game 2 of this 3-game series. Pre-game coverage will be at about 6:20 with the first pitch currently scheduled for 6:35 p.m. right here at the Orchard. Or come on out, say hi up in the booth here, and enjoy some baseball here in the Yakima Valley. Malachi Emery Henderson is in to face the new pitcher, Easton Corey. Corey, a hard-throwing righty, throws ball one to Emery Henderson. Out of Eastern Oregon University, he hails out of Pendleton. 6'6", 230 out there on the hill. Missing outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Well, you'd think with his velocity, if Malachi could just barrel one up to any part of the field, Pippins would get another run back. Pumps in a strike to make it 2 balls and 1 strike. Talbot has the runners at the corners as part of his responsibility. Corey misses outside, 3-1. A walk would load the bases. The Pippins had that in the 7th. They were able to get 2 runs out of it. Obville Ramos waits in the on-deck circle for his first chance to hit. 3-1, over to first, but foul. Thomas Glynn immediately blows the play dead. Emery Henderson will dig back into the box. Take a look at this. Just a bit early on that fastball. Furuhata is the one over at third. Velasquez is at first. Payoff pitch, spoiled foul. This is a fire-on-fire matchup here. Corey and Emery Henderson. Runners at the corners, another payoff pitch. That's downstairs, ball 4. Malachi with another good at-bat to draw a walk, and the bags are juiced. So here comes Obville Ramos, Western Oklahoma State. This is his first at-bat since joining the team. Most everybody got an at-bat in that exhibition game on Wednesday, but he did not as the Pippins started being set down in order. Had a lot of offense early, and then it kind of died out as the game went along. What a chance here. That's a nice pick by Osborne behind the dish. He just saved Corey, and he'll probably owe him a steak dinner. That kept at least 1 run off the board with that fireball. Who knows where it would have ricocheted to. Ramos looking to come through big as that misses inside, and he dives out of the way. No place to put him, 2-0. Here's a look at that first pitch. That is not an easy pick to make. Ramos takes outside. Again, nowhere to put him. Grant Yost waits in the on-deck circle. Ramos taking all the way, and there's a strike pumped in by Corey. Question is, will it be 2? 3-1, down and away, ball 4. The Sweets have walked home another Pippins run. And just like that, it's a 1-run ball game. Back-to-back walks since Corey has entered the contest as Daichi Furuhata crosses the plate. And now Leo Rivera going to go have a chat with Thomas Glynn as he tries to figure out his pitching situation. Coach Krusty with a prime opportunity here. 1 out, bases loaded. He's confirming how many offensive or defensive visits that Walla Walla has used. And now he's going to have a chance to talk with Yost. Big opportunity early on this season, but very late in this game. We started at 7 o'clock. It is currently 10:06. Defense playing nearly straight up, except for the fact that the first baseman, Knowles, is going to play in front of the runner. Yost drills one out towards right field. This should be deep enough to tie it. Still going back. He's near the wall, and he makes the catch. Runners at second and third tag, and we have a tie ball game. Grant Yost comes through, and we're all knotted at 9. Emory Henderson moves up to third on the tag. Ramos stays put at first. And now Garen Guler has a chance to give the Pippins the lead here in the 8th. Another instant classic between these two teams, back and forth. Runner takes off at first. Guler goes the opposite way, out towards right. This is towards the short porch. This is off the wall. One run is home. Here comes Ramos going first to third. He's going to score standing up. The Pippins score 2 on a Garen Guler double. Guler, who told me he loves going the opposite way, puts one right in the perfect spot. Ramos was running with the pitch, and the Pippins lead it 11-9. Emory Henderson scored. Ramos scored. And now the Pips 3 defensive outs away from a 1-0 start. Levi Correa is the batter. He was inserted into the defensive lineup after Garcia hit in the 7th. Correa getting his first hacks here in the regular season. He is the 9th hitter in this 8th inning for Yakima Valley. One and one the count now. How about that scoreboard out and left? 2 in the first for the Sweets, 4 in the 4th for the Pippins, and then 5-2 top to bottom, and then 5-2 bottom to top. That results in an 11-9 score for the Pippins. Still have a man in scoring position. 1-1 big hack by Correa. Levi Correa out of Kiowa, Hawaii. 5'11", 180. Standing in that right-hand batter's box. Corey set with the 1-2. Outside 2-2. That double by Garen Guler. So far, my play of the game. And if I'm in charge of picking a player of the game afterward, we're going to be talking to Garen as soon as this game wraps up. A lot of offense tonight. There's a lot of choices to make a decision from. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Correa. Swing and a miss. The inning is over, but not before the Pippins put 5 on the board. 11-9, 3 outs from a 1-0 start. Thanks to that man, Garen Guler. We head to the 9th here at the Orchard. Top of the 9th inning here at Yakima County Stadium. Glad you're with us. I'm Harmon Johnson. Pippins lead at 11-9 after a RBI double that scored 2 by Garen Guler with some help there in the 8th inning. The Pippins sent all 9 men to the plate. They scored 5 runs on only 2 hits, thanks in large part to an error and 3 walks. And now coming into the game to try to close it out for the Pippins is John Witt, the senior from Arkansas Tech, a native of Phoenix, Arizona. 6'2", 210 out there on the hill. It was Greenaw Groom who got the start, Seifers who pitched 2 1/3, Tanaka who got the other 2/3. Giving up a home run and currently would have been in line for the loss if not for his offense picking him up. And now John Witt trying to finish it off. Pippins won last year on opening day up in Wenatchee. That was a stellar start by Ty Pangborn, who was the Pippins lone all-star that year. Overall on opening day, the Pippins are 7-4 in 11 games. First pitch swinging and fouling it off Gunnar Guile. It's 4, 5, and 6 due up for Walla Walla. The last time the Pippins lost at home on opening day was in 2024 when Springfield defeated them 7-2. Upstairs, 1-1. At home on opening day, the Pippins are 3-3. And surprisingly, on the road, the Pippins 4-1. So the Pips trying to get above 500 in both categories if we can get 3 more outs here. Outside, 2-1. Witt in a high-pressure situation here, but 2 runs on the board. The offense is clicking. Now it's up to the defense. Again, foul. This is out of play on the left side, and it's 2-2. Guile today doubled back in the 7th inning. He drove in a run when the Sweets scored their 5. Pippins responded with 2 in the bottom half of that inning and then gave up 2 in the top half of the 8th and responded with 5 of their own. Two again, foul. The Pips playing in their 12th season now as we're officially underway in 2026. Of course, the team was founded in 2014, and you'd be thinking maybe there should be 13 seasons technically, but there was no games played in 2020 for COVID. 2-2, swing and a miss. Witt gets Guile down on strikes, 1 away. Nate Petts due up next, and of course you can't forget the fireworks show afterward. We've had plenty of fireworks ourselves on the baseball field. The only reason I remembered is because the right field party porch has been emptied out so that they don't get sprayed with smoke and spark. There's one of the heroes tonight. Emery Henderson got the crowd going early. First pitch strike to Nate Petts. On the day is 2 for 4. Pair of singles and a run scored. Shallow pop out into center field. Who wants it? Correa ranging over, and the ball dropped. Kind of a tough place to hang out in. Did it drop? Man stands at first. There's 1 away. And yeah, just a little bit of miscommunication there. It was Correa and Furuhata coming together. Call that a bloop single. Here's Runyon again. He pinch hit back in the 7th. First pitch missing. Landon Runyon from Whitman College, Huntington Beach, California native. he was the lone lefty stick on the bench for Leo Rivera, so just so works out that he's facing a righty here in John Witt. Pumps in a strike, 1-1. Double play would end it, put a win in the book for Yakima Valley. Petts with his lead. 1-1, pulled foul. Sweets dugout will, rather bullpen will go and retrieve that foul ball. 1-2 now the count. As Witt tries to earn a save. Pretty good contingent still in attendance. 1-2 downstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They hung around. It was the green jersey giveaway night. It was a replica jersey. First 1,000 folks got that. And, of course, new merch in the team store and all sorts of fun to be had here at the ballpark over the course of the summer. 2-2 on the ground. Touching the bag for 1. The relay throw on to second. The tag applied. Double play. Pippins win. On a night where they only get 6 hits, the Pippins take down Walla Walla 11-9 and are 1-0 to start the 2026 campaign. Five minutes till fireworks, but I'd say we've had our fair share so far on the field. Score that 3 unassisted and 3-6 for the double play. 3 twin killings turned tonight by Yakima Valley. What a way to start 2026. John Witt gets the final 3 outs he needs, and we're 4 minutes and change away from fireworks. How about that? Sellout crowd and an 8th inning rally gives the Pippins a 1-0 start. Looking at some numbers from this one, you can pick your player of the game. I'm going to go with Garen Cooler for a couple of really professional at-bats in the 6th and 7th innings to draw walks, and then the big 2 RBI double in the 8th inning to give the Pippins that really solid 11-9 lead. And then, of course, John Witt closing it down there in the 9th. You could also go with Malachi Emery Henderson, who was 1 for 3 tonight with the 3-run home run and a pair of walks himself. And the Pippins now meeting with Coach Krusty, Coach Salsa, and Coach Panch after a 1-0 start. They'll get back right to it tomorrow at 6:35 p.m. We'll have pregame coverage at around 6:20 as we'll get game number 2. Pippins looking for a series win to start off 2026. The game time tonight officially ending at 10:18 p.m., and so the game took 3 hours and 18 minutes. Official attendance has not yet been counted. There were that many people at the ballpark tonight. What a night to be a Yakima Valley Pippin. 11-9 the final score. We'll get the countdown timer back up there here in a minute. We're 3 minutes away from fireworks. Thank you for joining us tonight for Game 1 of the 2026 campaign. We're navigating new ownership, a new almost sense of pride in this team, and I'd say that tonight was a very good representation of what you're going to see for a majority of the summer. So keep coming back. Watch us here on the stream, or come on out to the ballpark. We've got theme nights every night, pinata party tomorrow. If you can make it out, come and join us. Tickets are cheap. It's family fun. Come on out, have a drink, have a good time. We're going to recover after tonight, recoup from opening night, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow for a 6:35 first pitch. For our entire video crew here in the press box, for Shay and Marcos for being awesome, and for the entire Pippins organization, I'm Harmon Johnson signing off for tonight, saying stay safe, have a wonderful rest of your night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow at 6:35. Pippins win 11-9, 2 minutes to fireworks. Keep it right here on the stream. We'll see you tomorrow.